Hello everybody and welcome to our commentary of 2007's DC animated film, Superman Doomsday. Wow, that's grim. Basically, everybody, back in, I think it was 1997 that the comic came out, was it too?
I think it was 1992.
Let me check.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it that early?
It began in 1992 and ended in 1993.
Damn,
Yeah,
I'm so...
I actually read it way after the fact for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah. Okay, basically, everybody, back in 1982, the Death of Superman comic came out. For those of you who aren't aware, this was a big thing, even outside of the comic book industry. It came out on the news. The fact that Superman died made national news, not just in America, everywhere. My country literally reported on the news. By the way, there's a new comic called The Death of Superman, so Superman dies.
Yes.
And everybody's like, spoilers, dude. Yeah. I'm personally not a fan of the comic that much, but it was still popular, and it is an iconic story. So might as well make a movie out of it with the DC animated universe. So let's see how it is. This is a 2007 movie, and that's apparently the entire arc, not just the first comic that's called Death of Superman, the entire Death of Superman arc, it seems.
Yes. For those who don't know, Death of Superman is not just about the death of Superman. It was also about seeing what the world did in the aftermath of Superman's death in there. It introduced some characters like the Cyborg, Superman, Superboy, who was going to be Connor Kent, Steel as well. Yeah, quite a few classics here and there. So, okay. Now, there's a lot of debate on whether or not it was a legit good story or if it was just a glorified publicity event. Because, let's be quite honest, in hindsight, it was kind of obvious Superman was going to come back. That said, to be fair, at the time, nobody knew if he was actually coming back. And this would also spark a few other things in the wake, like Nightfall, a story where Batman had his back broken and supposedly was going to be permanently replaced as Batman. And similar things were happening with other superheroes left and right here and there.
The 90s were kind of the shock value era of comic books.
It was kind of the beginning of the dark age of comics and shows.
Come to think of it, I recall something happening with Green Lantern around that time as well.
But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the first time Warner Bros. tried to animate... the first time I tried to animate this with the helm, of course.
Yes, for as much as I'm not a big fan of it, it is an iconic story of Superman. So yeah, might as well try to make some kind of an adaptation of it. Basically, everybody get this. We're watching a Blu-ray copy of it in case it's a digital one, but it shouldn't be difficult because I'm pretty
basically start before the Warner Premiere logo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every movie of this has the same thing. So start in the black screen before the Warner logo. So 3, 2, 1, click.
Now,
I still have my original. I swear, for some reason, I was under the impression that it was after. It wasn't in the early 90s.
No, it was early beginning of the dark age.
I do, however, still have my original Portuguese issue of the original.
So it's a collector's item.
That's the thing, Teo. The cover, like the actual front cover, is lost. Because it was torn. The comic is not in its best shape after these years. Let's just say.
Anyway, much like a lot of other animated DC movies, especially around this time, this does not have the same cast from, say, the Justice League cartoon, and instead he has here, for example, James Marsters as Lex Luthor, the narration we're hearing.
James Marsters. He was in Dragon Ball Evolution.
He's also Zamatsu from Dragon Ball Super.
That wasn't well.
I guess he wanted to take the same route that the actress who played Princess Yue in The Last Airbender took.
Well, this was 2 years before Dragon Ball Evolution anyway. So
anyway, so allow me to clear some things up, folks. This movie is actually not a part of a DC animated universe made by Bruce Timm. Oh, don't get me wrong, Bruce Timm is one of the 3 directors and a producer of this movie. But this is not a part of the Bruce Timm-verse, also better known as the DC Animated Universe. No. This was the first film in a long line of what is branded as DC Universe Animated Original Movies. What are those? Essentially movies made to be adaptations of comic book lines that make it easier for people like Glibs who don't want to bother reading the original comics here and there.
A.k.a. part of the problem.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically,
well, forgive me if I don't want to dive into like 55 bajillion years of continuity.
No,
You also watch wrestling, so you have to deal with
Go on, Drover.
Anyway, my point is like, well, these movies have been, for the most part, very well received, and have actually convinced a lot of people to go check out the original comics here and there. Obviously, they have to change some things around because, you know, some of the... Yes, of course, she tends to be in a lot for that. For a lot of these
so you guys are gonna get angry at me.
Hold on, Des, let me finish.
Okay.
A lot of these movies do have to change around some things because a lot of the comic books that they adapt off of do take place in the middle of comics, so obviously the stories are made more standalone here and there, with some exceptions where they're being sequels to here and there.
Okay. Did Michael Bay take over? Like, what the fuck is this?
Okay. In the meantime, guess what? Apparently, well, it also drove out. The composer of this, Robert Crowell, apparently specialized in composing for the Scooby-Doo movies. Animated movies.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
So who voices Lois? And Hesh.
Also,
who voices Perry White? That is Ray Wise.
Also, Perry called her Lane, not Lois. Like, usually Perry just calls her by her first name, but...
Nah, he tends to call her by both names depending on the situation. If it's a more serene situation, he calls her Lois. If it's something where, you know, she's sort of getting
more
on a
professionally, yeah.
I guess. I mean, usually I remember Perry doing that more for Clark rather than Lois.
Yeah, Paige, I thought for a second there, I thought Perry said lame.
Also, is it me or does Clark have equal mirroring scars on both sides of his face?
I know, right?
What the hell is that? What?
They're supposed to represent the cheekbones, but they look like scars.
What the fuck is up with that face design?
Besides, I thought he doesn't get scars.
Anyway.
Doesn't. Yeah, that's the thing. That doesn't even look good. Look at it. It doesn't even look consistent. See, it disappeared.
He looks 50.
Oh, and Hash, she was Sui in Beifong in the season 3 and 4.
So not only does it look weird, it also is inconsistent because the animation makes it disappear in certain shots. Good job, guys.
Anyway, Clark himself instead is voiced by Adam Baldwin.
Goody, one of the Baldwin brothers.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Superman is voiced by Adam Baldwin, Dej.
Oh, Adam, not Alec. I'm like,
no. He's still part of the family.
Alec Baldwin is Superman.
Hey, Taylor, you know what sucks about being a Baldwin? Nothing!
He also looked like Virgil from Devil May Cry for some reason.
Alright, this is where I'm guessing this is where Doomsday's gonna come up during this.
Yeah. Okay. Because again, it's okay. I don't remember all the details, but some versions have Doomsday actually come from space or with a satellite. Others that he was buried beneath the earth.
Alright, some of you younger ones out there probably were ones who, you know, like are like in their 15 and under maybe, or maybe around that area. You guys have probably been introduced to Doomsday probably for the first time from BVS.
Or the Justice League series.
Oh yeah, is that still going on?
No.
Or was it going on during that time that movie came out? I don't follow.
No, it was 2001 to 2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justice League TV series, which would eventually evolve into Justice League Unlimited.
All right, sure.
Feature Doomsday.
Sure. Never mind then. Sure.
Lex, what the fuck are you wearing?
White.
A white business suit. Anyway, here is Mercy Graves, voiced by everyone's favorite Cree Summer.
No, that's somewhere else.
Huh.
I could cure everyone, but I'm too busy trying to kill Superman to waste time on that.
Yes, I will kill him with. I will kill. Yeah, that's exactly why I designed the cure. It's a cure that also kills Superman.
Honestly, Dwibs, if Luthor could, he would so do that.
That's the thing, Dwebs. Lex will only cure cancer or AIDS or whatever it is, only if he would get some amazing admiration. Like the entire time, we need to suck his dick, basically.
Pretty much.
Well, everyone already does that.
Hey, it's not enough, Dwebs. Unfortunately for him, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
Because Superman won't suck it either.
Let me put it like this, Dwebs. Lex needs to have the bigger dick in the world. If someone has a bigger dick, then nothing is right with the world. That's the basic gist of it.
Anyway, the guard robot here is voiced by Tom Kenny.
Huh.
Interesting. I'm sorry. His face things are so distracting.
Not just that, Superman in this particular version is way more ripped than he needs to be.
I can see
Maybe
what
maybe that explains the eye thing. He's been so ripped. He's gotten so focused on getting ripped. He's gotten tired as a result.
Lois, are you not a bit cold? I mean, the fortune solid is still made of pure ice.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, but it's inside the fortress, not the outside.
Sorry, Dej, it's just like the second Dragon Ball OVA. It's actually colder inside.
Well, Tail here. Let's use the usual thing. Ancient Kryptonian technology. There you go.
Fair enough.
Gee, what a lovely couple. I hope nothing happens to them.
Well, considering
His neck is so huge.
Well, Debs, even you know.
It looks like Kronk.
Well, Debs, even you know what happens with Doomsday and Superman, so we don't need to tell you anything.
Okay. When it comes to Superman's look in this movie, I get the feeling that it was sort of them trying to grow out of using the typical Bruce Timm animation style, because Superman feels like he takes a lot of cues from the Bruce Timm verse, only, they're trying to move away from it. Like, he's got the beady eyes look for one thing, like in the DCAU.
But
and
he doesn't have the handsome
similar.
face like in Apocalypse.
Oh, God.
I mean, I've only seen like one episode of the animated series, but I just pulled up a
he definitely looks
a picture. He doesn't have the creases there.
Oh, Dwibs. That's why I say that this feels like it was a weird attempt to try and break away from it, but obviously it wasn't quite as, well thought out as later DC animated movies would be.
Yes, I'll get a taco, thank you. The smartest man on the planet.
How do you know that?
Well, take a look at... He basically studied the mannerisms of it.
I mean, I'm not doubting he's a smart guy, but I'm just wondering how he knows that.
Hello, Doomsday. In the meantime,
does Doomsday actually have a voice actor? Or he just grunting normally?
It's probably Fred Tatasciore.
From what I've heard, this movie does have a decent reception overall, but it also has some criticism, some of which is apparently regarding Doomsday. Apparently not.
Well, guess what? Don't worry. Who the hell keeps firing fireworks?
There you go, Teo. I just went to get my original issue, and I can explain to you in detail why it's no longer Collector's Item, Teo. There are a lot of pages missing. This page that survived is page 49 and onwards. Any page... well, remember, Joe, but this thing is old as crap by this point. So, you have to understand...
They'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. He just got evacuated in time.
Yeah, they'll walk it off. They'll be fine.
Well, snap.
I love what it says here in the back. Every month on stores in Portuguese, Spider-Man 2099, X-Men, and X-Men 2099. So,
I remember this scene being a lot more violent.
Okay, I will give it this. The artwork in this comic is really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh dear.
Oh no, not Bambi's mom.
Jesus.
We gotta show. Okay, this
He's
design
so
of the.
evil, but he can
Okay,
kill an adult deer.
it's interesting because.
I finally did it.
All right, now I can actually
Bambi.
voice the difference. In the original comic, which I'm skimming right now, Doomsday at first has an entire green suit covering his entire body, so you don't know exactly how
Yeah.
he looks like at the beginning in the comic. In here, I think they decided to just fuck the suit. It's not like it has a purpose or anything.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Doomsday part of Death of Superman is interesting, but it does have a lot of padding, some of which this movie just cut away. Like, for one thing, there's not the whole, slight clothing damage that Doomsday has that slowly but surely reveals his true face and whatnot.
Also, weren't there more heroes involved to fight? Because
Yeah.
and this one is just Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Was Luthor involved with this in the original?
I don't remember.
No,
What?
no.
Okay,
In the original,
he was involved in the storyline, but he wasn't necessarily responsible for Doomsday getting out.
no, he wasn't. I can actually answer that. I can actually have it right here. Basically, Luthor's presence in the original comic amounts to him watching everything happen on TV.
Oh boy.
Hold on.
You know what time it is.
Let me see if I can find the actual
Well,
page.
that wasn't effective.
Let me see if I can find the actual page where he
It was
shows
not
up.
very effective.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah, totally fine, guys.
So yeah, as you can see, Doomsday is not a byproduct of Superman's blood or some shit.
Yes, we get it.
What are you talking,
Not just
what are you talking
that,
about? Where's General Zod?
It's
Not just that. It's a problem. It's a potential problem that the original story also had. It's supposedly the iconic death of Superman. You know, the character that has not been killed in all these decades, and all these in a permanent way, quote unquote. You know, and it's not even if it's climactic as a fight. It's not against an arch nemesis like Darkseid or Brainiac, but this literal who jumps out of nowhere and is just indestructible.
Okay, that exchange is funny.
Not just that. Hold on, I'll wait till this is over.
Oh boy, I'm not touching that.
Look, Clark, I just don't understand. Your face is so inconsistent. One day it looks like a certain way. Like, I just don't understand. I'm sorry. It's just not doing it for me. See, now the other one the one on the left is completely missing. See what I mean?
It is weird. Like,
Anyway,
I
go ahead and finish.
I get why they may have wanted to make it seem familiar, but obviously in an attempt to try and differentiate it from the DCAU, they added the lines, which I guess gave him more of a weary look. I'm thinking that was the idea.
This is apparently the first one of these this series of movies.
Yeah,
That's what I said earlier.
You know, actually, Joe, allow me to add to what you said. See, did you notice the truck driver's face before he got thrown off? He also has lines on his face. It's, of course, meant to show that he has wrinkles on his face. I get that. I get the point of those lines. I get it. The problem is that it's fucking Superman. He's not supposed to have wrinkles. You know?
Well, tell that to Kingdom Come.
Anyway, too, I forgot about this panel from the comic where Doomsday punches Supergirl's face, and it's this, and her face.
beginning of a dark age.
Okay. No. He's talking about the time when Supergirl was bonded to an alien, so
Yes.
she was sort of this weird morpho thing in true
Yes,
form here.
it was after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes. Believe it or not, Twibs, during this time in the comics, Lex Luthor and Supergirl were a thing.
Also around that time, Lex Luthor had a...
Because if you go long enough with decades of comics, eventually we'll reach fanfiction territory.
Also, this was around the time when Lex Luthor had a full-on beard and hair.
I love how the comic.
Oh god, everyone had a mullet around that
I hate mullets so much. They're not good.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now this is why I got confused too. See, according to this tag on my comic, this comic was only released in my country in 1995, not 1992. There you go. That's why I got confused. That's why I got confused.
Apparently, Adam Baldwin, he was the first choice to play Clark in the in Superman the animated series, but they cast Tim Daly instead.
I see.
So he had to wait. So he had to wait 11 years before he could voice him.
It's like the guy who played Two-Face in Batman, the Batman movies, Harvey Dent.
But
then he didn't get to reprise his role until the Lego Batman movie.
Anyway, that's actually a thing about these sort of movies. Like, a lot of things that the DC Universe animated original movies have is what I like to call... Yeah, sure. Is what I like to call legacy casting, where, they'll hire certain actors based off of, special history for superheroes here and there. Like, for instance, for Dark Knight Returns, they had flipping RoboCop playing Batman, which is sort of fitting because we've had Batman versus RoboCop before in the comics, so...
Then you get the more obvious ones, like Nicolas Cage as Superman in Teen Titans Go.
Apparently that's going to be in the Flash. They're in talks with film for the Flashpoint movie.
Interesting.
There you go.
Did you guys ever watch the CW Crisis on Infinite Earth when they were casting everybody?
Yeah,
Oh,
the hype was actually real. I remember that.
Yeah, that's actually one good thing I can say.
Here he is to save the day.
Oh, this bit. I'm checking out the. I'm skimming the comic still. Well, we're already starting the fight already. Oh yeah. I forgot. We have to rush through the entire arc. I forgot.
Barely made it.
It's like it's a movie now.
Well, allow me then, Jova. You see, everybody in the original comic. It takes quite a while before the proper fight between the solo fight between Superman and Doomsday powers up, because first Doomsday basically kills the entirety of the Justice League before.
Well, not so much kills them, but pretty much hospitalizes them. So yeah,
at the very least incapacitates them.
I forget if he killed any other superheroes.
I think. Okay, let me check. I actually have that bit still here. Let me check.
I can see why they cut out the bit with the other heroes, because they wanted to focus more on Superman for this one, as opposed to when they would later do another Death of Superman take, that one would be split into a two-parter here and there.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
Okay.
I forgot about this subplot. Remember the subplot about the family that got destroyed and burned?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, well, this was kind of mean-spirited, if you ask me.
Again, beginning of a dark age.
Lois is a helicopter pilot.
No, she's not, as Jimmy said.
Anyway, you were saying, Pedro?
I was trying to say, I'm trying to find out if someone actually died in the Justice League aside from Superman.
I
don't think so, because they had to sell the fact that it was Superman who died. So just shoehorning in another death might have been.
But anyway,
most I just recall heroes getting brutalized.
But guess what, Dwebs? Whereas the Lex Luthor you see here in this adaptation is, the classic Lex Luthor with the bald head and shit like that. But in the original comic, Lex Luthor was a redhead with beard and long hair, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like I mentioned, he had that and the mullet and everything. That was sort of Lex Luthor's design for quite a bit of time. In fact, believe it or not, back in the day when Batman the Animated Series was adapted into its own brand of comics known as Batman Adventures, there was a crossover with Superman before Superman the Animated Series was made.
Let me see if I can find that.
So wouldn't you know, back then, the design they used for Lex Luthor in that crossover
I found it.
Was the red beard and red hair mullet look.
Oh, I love this panel. Hold on, give me a moment.
Yeah, please don't murder those two. That'll make Clark sad.
And then he'll go evil.
No, please.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
You know. I just want to say this. I appreciate Kingdom Come for putting that kind of scenario in and not having Superman go evil, because
I appreciate Crisis on Infinite Earth for having Superman be wholesome.
That too, yes.
Is that TV show?
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah. Like I said,
they even got Smallville Superman.
Like I said,
and Superman
cool.
Returns Superman, apparently.
Yeah.
Like
who plays the Atom in the DC shows anyway?
Like I said, like I've said in our commentaries, MCU Captain America proves that modern audiences do like Boy Scout heroes. They don't have to be, Yeah, I think. Yeah, honestly, for as much I genuinely
The
believe.
chemistry between Clark and Lois is terrible in this
Okay,
one.
I think
Yeah,
this.
I wouldn't say it's.
I'm gonna be
terrible,
real.
per
I
se.
feel like the chemistry between Clark and Lois and a lot of stuff aren't really that good.
It depends on which comic you're reading, but
Well, I'm only basing it off Smallville, the animated series, and whatnot. It's like,
come
I
on,
don't see it.
oh come on, the animated series is great.
At least,
No,
at
I
the
like the
very
show.
least-
I said I just don't believe the chemistry. Like I
At
don't
the
know
very
why
least
Clark
in-
falls for her.
At the very least, in the animated series, we had time to develop. Here, it's just rushed beyond
Yeah,
belief.
honestly, I'm starting to think. Yeah, no, this should have been a series of movies instead of just trying to do the entire thing in one. Like, I mean, for Dark Returns, they made it a two-parter. Why couldn't they do some kind of?
Well,
Let's not forget that this was the
which came out first, this or Batman Returns?
Dark
this.
Returns.
Okay,
I mean,
like I've said,
go ahead.
no, he's talking about the movies.
No, yeah, but basically, between these and Dark Knight Returns, the adaptation into parts, which came first?
This,
There you go.
Yeah. So
like I said, this was literally the first of, as it is branded, the DC Universe animated original
Oof.
movies. So I can see why they went with this style for the time being. You know, it was an experiment of sorts, and from what I recall,
They
an
got
experiment
it
that
better.
did work out rather well.
There you go, Dwebs. That's how Lex Luthor looked in the original comic. You can feel free to Google images, everybody, if you want to see it for yourself.
Although, why would, how the hell did Lex manage to get with Supergirl?
Long story,
Yeah.
Dwebs. Long story.
Yeah, very long
There
story.
was a time where Lex Luthor even became the president of the United States.
And I still find that more believable than him getting with Supergirl.
But you know what's interesting, Dwebs? Now I'm going to show you, Dwebs. What is?
wait. What did you say, Dwibs? He got with what? Who?
Supergirl.
Yeah, Lex
What?
Luthor was a Lex Luthor and Supergirl were a couple in the original comic. That you don't
Alright,
ask.
you were saying, Pedro?
And now, Dwebs, I'm going to show you one of the most unintentionally hilarious panels in comic book history. Supergirl gets punched by Doomsday, and it's supposed to be like this big, oh my god, violence moment, but it just comes across as hilarious to me. Check this out. The way it's drawn.
It looks like her face exploded.
Oh, hey, Martha. Yeah, that's the thing.
Although
That's
it's still not as funny as Captain America. I command you to wank.
Wank.
Yeah.
Yes, Jova?
No,
That's the
or
thing.
the Iron Man. Oh God, it hurts.
Basically,
For the
everybody, Google images Death of Superman Supergirl, and it's the first image that shows up. Go ahead.
Anyway, the reason for why her face looks like it's splattering is because at the time she was sort of this weird
Yeah.
shape-shifting sort of thing. It's hard to explain.
Oh no, Superman is bleeding. He might actually die this time.
Well, I guess Batman really got his wish.
Oh, and the blood just vanished off her face.
You were never a god. Anyway,
Not the girl!
I hate crying.
you know what's interesting, Theo? In the Portuguese translation of the comic, Doomsday is called Apocalypse.
That's not confusing at all.
At least he doesn't look like Ivan Ooze.
Ooh.
He does.
Suplex!
German suplex.
My God, he's really doing it!
As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
And he's on fire. Yeah, that's the only way they could have topped that moment. Had Mankind be on fire as he fell down onto the table.
Okay, I love this one. Basically, Dwebs, there's a panel in the comic where Lex. Okay, I sent my reporters to handle this fight thing, and then
Superman killed like 800 people.
No, it's okay. They're all right.
oh, okay,
They were evacuated.
it's okay, Dwebs. The whole place was evacuated before, so it's fine.
All right, sir. Everyone was evacuated to the safe zone.
It's almost like the Yamcha poses.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, and he's
Yeah, I
dead.
totally believe that Doomsday is dead already. But
I mean, it's called Superman Doomsday.
Yeah, this is the problem with the movie.
what already?
Yeah,
That's his last appearance.
You're already doing the iconic flag thing?
Yeah.
That it's not really the time to do yet, but whatever.
That's because again
Pedro,
we're
is this
missing
your
so many
first time
characters.
watching this?
This movie, yes, but I've read the comic back in the day, so I know. I know what happens. Don't worry, I read the comics back in the day, so.
You
Yeah,
save
sure,
the
some people
world.
broke their legs in those buildings that were shattered, but... Yeah.
I'm actually wondering right now how the more recent Doomsday movie is, if it considering it's entirely
And
just.
yeah, that's how Soup dies. This feels wrong. It's constructed.
Yeah, the
So,
comic.
yeah, I mean, Doomsday's freaking dead, and we're not even half an hour into the movie.
Not just
Yeah.
that, the way
Oh.
Soups dies. The
Yeah.
dialogue with Lois is minimal. He just bangs his head a bit. Like
Yeah.
that. And
I'm not a big fan of the comic, but the comic did try to build up properly to things. This just feels so rushed.
the comic wanted to milk every single tier of a reader, but they could. This one is serviceable at best.
I think Dej puts it best that they probably should have named the movie better here. As opposed to naming it Superman Doomsday, would have been best to have named it something like, The Death of Superman, because that's more what this movie is. It's more an adaptation of the entire arc of Superman, per se.
They should have put in, like, brackets, Superman Doomsday for half an hour.
Like I've told you before, this movie focuses more on the aftermath of Superman's death, how people react in there. Again, a good storyline in and of itself, but I can see why somebody would have come in expecting more of the Doomsday part of the sequence here and there.
Like I said, I think doing this entire thing in one movie was a mistake. There should have been at the very least 2 movies.
Again, the first time.
Yeah, this was experimental, and we wanted to go for an iconic storyline. It's just that it's probably a thing. It's just a matter of thing that it isn't aged well. That's it.
I will say this, for when it came out, definitely a very good movie, and hey, we have this movie to thank for all the much better DC animated original
Why
movies.
does Jimmy Olsen look like Gear from Static Shock? Just except with
I don't know. Go continue, Joe. I'm sure she meantime will voices him.
Like, okay, yeah, I will understand that this movie has not aged the best in all regards here and there, but, oh yeah, also the tragedy, Martha Kent being there, and look who else is here for the funeral.
I mean, you might as well.
Hey, he was a worthy opponent. I must pay my respects.
Oh,
Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this panel from the comic. Like Lex Luthor is all like, "Oh, this is an absurd case," and Supergirl replies, "It's not absurd, Lex. They're fighting. The fighting is on the air. Doomsday just destroyed one of your supermarkets. Oh no, Doomsday destroyed one of Lex's supermarkets." I find it interesting how the comic decides to put that out of all things.
Anyway, Jimmy
wait.
was.
Question: is Lex Luthor the Jeff Bezos of the DC universe?
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much. Anyway, Jimmy is voiced by Adam Augustus Wiley, forgot what it's pronounced. Basically, an ex-child actor, because his first couple of roles were in Child's Play 2 and Kindergarten Cop.
Basically, well, actually, to remind me, aside from the Daily Planet, what is there some kind of prominent organization in Metropolis that is not owned by Lex?
Perry Kent may not be coming back from Afghanistan.
No, I think almost everything else is owned by LexCorp.
Pretty much. So basically, Deji, he owns everything except the Daily Planet, basically.
I'm pretty sure there is some continuity where he owns that too.
There was that time when Kingpin bought the Daily Planet, and yes, I did not stutter, Kingpin.
There was a
Marvel
magical
DC
time where
crossover.
DC and Marvel actually got together.
And we'll never have a crossover between the two of them.
No,
ever.
because they're basically puppets and their puppet masters hate each other so much.
Come on, just add. Give me
Just
a
kiss
Lego
already.
It's
DC
funny.
crossover.
It's funny because their puppet masters used to get along well enough too with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
No, but those were different puppet masters. The puppet masters of that time are no longer the puppet masters, Jova. That's why.
Well, Warner Brothers and Disney.
Well, yeah, Jova, but Peter was referencing, the higher ups at that point. But whatever. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Lois having to explain Martha about this. we kinda banged potentially, so sorry for not telling you.
This is awkward.
That close up.
Okay. Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood. Is she just now revealing that she was romantically involved with Clark now?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Okay, but in the original comics, the Kents knew.
Well,
Again,
okay.
this is taking its own original approach.
Yeah.
Weird thing
Remember,
to change,
Pedro,
but
remember, Pedro,
whatever.
we already cut away so many characters who were involved in the original story. Again, I honestly don't understand what was the thought process behind it. This is my first viewing of this particular adaptation as well, and I can tell there are so many things that are wrong with this.
To be fair, I can see the mentality behind this here and there. Like, you got to remember the mindset of 2007 coming like right out of the DCAU. People were kind of used to a certain way that heroes were, mind you.
True, but you know, if that's the
On
case,
the price side, Lex Luthor.
Oh, here you go. I found it.
How nice of Lex.
I found it.
If- if that's the case, Jova, start small and then build up from there.
Well-
with stories that oh shit,
That is kind of what they
yay,
were.
free televisions.
Again, that's kind of what they were doing with this movie, essentially. Starting kind of small overall here and there. Again, a rather small but nuanced take on the Death of Superman arc here and there.
Also,
Again.
I don't get this. Why is Jimmy Olsen having an earring in this version?
What?
Jimmy! That's orange juice, don't worry, Lois. Think of a sugar intake.
Again, that is one thing I do like about this movie, is seeing how a lot of the people close to Superman actually have to deal with the death of it.
Well, that's what the comics did as well.
Honestly, Jova, we could have. I agree with Pedro, either doing it two-parters and having one part being leading to the death of Superman and the second the aftermath, or just dedicate one part about the aftermath entirely, having the shock value at the beginning of
Oh, I love this
Superman
part.
dying. I know, right?
But now I have no one to direct my hatred towards.
Batman?
No, Batman is from Gotham, not from here, so...
Lex, it's a bit late to lampshade about the fact that the writers just pulled Doomsday out of their asses.
Well, I mean, Batman could, try and multitask.
Oh. Well,
And he
that is,
randomly kills her for no reason,
hold
okay?
No, Pedro.
she
No loose
lambasted
ends.
him.
Also, no loose ends. That's one thing Lex Luthor is
I guess,
very
fine.
secure about.
Yeah, but now people are going to be on this case for a potential murder.
I actually want to break this up from the comic.
knows where... What is that bus doing there? Oh, who are you?
Hello.
Oh, it's the toy maker.
Hey,
Of course.
Spider-Man.
Oi, toy maker. How you doing?
Played by John DiMaggio in this version.
Is that John DiMaggio?
Yep,
Yes,
it's
it
John.
is.
Yes, it's John DiMaggio.
Oh, sorry. The proper name is Toyman because the toy maker is a Batman villain. Yes, it's that petty.
Or whatever, toy man. A guy with toys. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Say different name, same crap. But okay, Libs. I have to bring this up from the comic because this part is also pretty funny because where they, believe it or not, there's a moment where they try to figure out exactly who Doomsday was and what exactly was his motivation for doing anything. I'm not going to tell you, explain to you who Dubilex is, because that in its own thing, it's its own long story that would require a big tangent. But let's just say this: we have someone who's trying to read his Doomsday's mind and figure out something about Doomsday. So here's what he says. He says, "There's nothing in his mind aside from hate. Nothing in his mind aside from hate."
So basically, now we've got Chucky.
Oh,
Chucky.
and here he goes. He even says, on Doomsday's mind, and I'm quoting right now, "No thought besides destruction. There's no way to find out its place of origin." So there you go, Dwebs. Doomsday's entire shtick is that his heart is full of hatred and his mind is full of destruction. There you go. That's the character.
Jesus.
Enjoy.
Dead. Oh.
Why can't I aim this thing straight?
If only.
Yes, if only.
If only.
Well, at least John Jumanji was having fun.
And then he'll have more fun voicing the Joker.
I love him as a Joker.
Like, I like him as a voice actor, but I don't think he fits as the Joker. But again, all for another time.
Hey, Soups.
Yeah, he's better off voicing Motor Ed than anything.
No tragedy.
Kim Possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Ironically enough, Draken's brother.
Cousin.
That should have been it. That should have been the theme.
And
For,
funny, it's funny
toy-
because they're
toy maker.
it's funny because they're both played by John DiMaggio.
Ah.
Well, someone needs to read the room.
Damn.
Oh my god, it's Zack Snyder.
Oh my god, you're potentially right.
Yeah, the original comic is actually divided in chapters. Chapter 5, Battlefield.
I healed myself while trying to repair myself.
I thought you were gonna make a Kingdom Hearts joke, actually.
No.
I find it interesting how
because people really don't die in Kingdom Hearts. The Soups at least died and then came back.
I find it interesting how he quote unquote resurrected and repaired himself, but he's still full of wrinkles. I'm sorry, I can't get over those. They look so weird. Clark, what happened to your right wrinkle? It disappeared right now.
By the way, that guy who did the whole lame bit, that was voiced by Kevin Smith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cute.
Interesting cameo.
And apparently it was a reference to a project that he and the guy producer named John Peters were working on, but didn't work out. But then Warner Brothers turned the mechanical spider thing into the climax for Wild Wild West.
Huh. This comic,
Which was also produced by Mr. Peters.
This comic is apparently one of the early examples of the weird diamond-shaped feet that were prevalent in the 90s.
Again, beginning of the Dark Age.
Although
it really was a paving to that.
I assume this also happened in the comics as well.
Which part? What's happening right now?
Hold on, I'll get into it.
Yes, I know he has an S in his chest.
Hmm.
Always come prepared.
I really should upgrade my eyes so they can see.
Man, I forgot how. Oh, I know this one.
Red light. Basically, gives deadly power Soups. Yeah.
Lufer's favorite gem.
Why did you need to be shirtless for this?
Because it's hot in here. I don't know.
Is this a Christmas movie now?
Why did you leave me?
Okay, to be fair, I've seen worse love confessions, so...
We had a thing together. You were supposed to solve my main Superman.
It's the same dynamic Batman and the Joker have.
Pretty much.
Well, this is common in comic books, not just DC, like even Marvel. The whole dichotomy that both the villain and the villain sees the superhero as, his, like his reason for existence and stuff like that.
Lexi, I'm just gonna kiss him.
He was this cold.
What's this? It turns out that may not actually be Superman.
You see, Debs, turns out Luthor is very tsundere for Superman.
Okay, cloning now. Okay,
Just like in Superman 4, so.
Okay, I can see. Well, that was Superman 3, I think, and 4, but yeah, I can see why people would think this movie feels very rushed. I mean, one of the title characters is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Not even half an hour into the movie, and now all of a sudden we're on freaking cloning.
Well, that's a thing.
They should have called this movie Superman Doomsday with his best friend clone.
You are so pedantic, man.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
but
Deji,
when part of the title of the movie just suddenly has a case of existence failure.
It's also more double meaning with Doomsday refer not to just the name of a character.
Yeah. Also,
Character existence failure.
Also, Dwibs, to be fair, cloning was a part of the Death of Superman arc here and there. Hence
So,
the
how did he
debut of
interact with the
Superboy.
Justice League with the Superman clone?
Oh no! That's the thing. The clone in particular wasn't like this. No. The clone in particular there was Superboy. This is a different take on it, since the Justice League aren't involved and whatnot.
Again, this begs even more the question for me: why did you do this start with this adaptation if you know you have to do things more local like this?
Honestly,
I don't think they had an idea that they were going to get a chance of doing this.
Oh,
Harleen, is that you?
Interesting.
Who are these two?
Just to, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. When this movie came out, they were just coming off of a DCAU, so they sort of did something similar to it, but obviously, making changes here. But also, the DCAU found a lot of success by, yes, adapting things from the comics, but obviously having to make a lot of changes to them for the sake of, it working better show-wise. For instance, Superman was not nearly as powerful as he is in the comics. This was later chalked up to him actually holding back constantly because it's in fear of killing someone when he finally gets to cut loose and whatnot here and there. You had stuff like the interesting origins regarding Batman as well here and there.
Oh my god, he's buddies with Lex.
Yeah, something.
Well, hey, maybe, Lois, you're very judgmental. What if Lois and Superman really did build bridges?
Lois and Superman build bridges, yeah. Yeah.
They have a...
I meant Soups and Lex.
I was about to say, of course Lois and Superman build bridges. They have a flipping sun in the comics. Uh-oh. Where'd the corpse go?
That's a problem.
I was fast asleep.
In a healing pod. Saved by Tom Kenny.
With Austin Power style censorship.
I'm reading one of the last pages right now, like when they're all watching and tearing up over Superman being dead. There's a little girl who has a Bugs Bunny T-shirt. So it's distracting.
You remember, Warner Bros. Has owned DC for a long time.
Oh, I'm aware of that. That's not the issue.
And now they own
Oh,
Mortal
boy.
Kombat. That's why we saw Scorpion choke Daffy Duck. That's why we saw Scorpion choke Daffy Duck.
Yes. Oh no.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, the Superman clone doesn't like
I need
this.
to know, is Toyman
I don't think real Superman
A
would
big
like
threat.
this.
It's the classic silver.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. Is he kind of he should stay away from children type of guy?
Oh, he's not usually a pedophile, if that's what you're wondering.
You will find an author of it will try to veer into that territory, but for the most part, no.
Oh, so he's just a giant man child.
Pretty much.
Fun fact is, there's actually a good guy version of Toyman.
I believe it.
Oh, apparently, in the most recent DC original animated film. Well, actually, no, I'll wait. Until it.
Hey! Of course his hair grew a bit while in the pod, and it grew out to the iconic mullet! Beautiful.
Yeah, mullets are never...
You're just jealous, dude.
Yeah, of all the other super... Okay, hold on. Okay. Yeah, but of all the superheroes that faced Doomsday in the original comic, aside from Superman, the one that definitely got the short end of the stick was Supergirl, because she gets right...
Oh. Is that allowed? What do you think?
Mass Effect 2 referenced these, by the way.
I thought I was going to say, what about the rights of that little girl?
And Splotch. Don't worry, it's fine. But looks like Superman might be turning evil.
Oh no.
Hey, an evil Superman. Why don't we run with this concept and run
For
it to
all
the ground?
eternity.
Does it at least turn out better than in Superman 3?
I'm familiar with Bizarro
Yes.
Superman, Deji.
No,
That's
the
at least
point is that that's all DC has to. That's the only thing DC has to do with Superman now.
That's kind of the problem. DC has been doing these days, especially so many fucking stories, Elseworld or not, where Superman just has to turn evil because that's
Hey.
appealing, I guess.
I guess nowadays they're doing evil Batman, though.
No, that's over too. Deji mentioned this during the Justice League New Frontier run. They
Oh,
kinda
did
took
it finally end?
They kind of took the piece out of a Batman Who Laughs.
Well, I get that, but from what I recall, that was getting continued into Dark Universe and whatnot.
I don't remember that. Just like in Superman for the Quest of Peace.
This'll turn out well.
I love how Martha says that is not the
Oh,
hilarious.
Kitty.
Well, she's right.
Why cats love to do this shit of being stuck on a tree?
Because, honestly, I don't even know to ask Shira when next time she's here.
Cats love to climb. They're just not always the best at...
Is he gonna kill the cat?
Cats are dumb.
No.
Yeah, so look after your cats and make sure they don't go up trees. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go back inside. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Those are
sure.
the-
Because that's gonna work. Yeah, morons.
I guess it's by the book.
But yeah,
also.
like I was.
What's the language?
Yeah, true.
What was this movie? How was this movie rated?
PG-13.
We don't want this.
Let me check the British one.
Couldn't sleep with one at least.
Okay,
But-
it's rated 12 here.
So
Okay.
Superman now is getting officially a 10.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, are you worried your skin looks too bright? Want to get it darkened a little bit, but don't have the sun all the time in your country? Then visit
The Fortress of Solitude.
visit
Yes.
the fortress of Sanitude. Sorry, Solitude.
Don't you mean
sorry.
Fortress of Solartude?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
rings
exactly.
better.
Visit the Fortress of Solitude. We've got all sorts of solar rays here to make sure your skin is crispy and tan.
Oh.
Warning, warning! If you're not a member of, if you're not Kryptonian in any way, shape, or form, your skin may burn off.
Remind me again, why does this clone even obey what Lex says?
Conditioning from Lex Luthor, and he has a means. Like he said, he brought him into this world, and he can take him out.
I
Unfortunately, Lex Luthor is going to learn that just because he can replicate Superman physically doesn't mean he can replicate his empathy.
Well, yeah,
One
even
thing
even
I-
Freakazoid did this. That did that. Yeah.
There's another thing I appreciate about this movie is that the clone in Superman is sort of a social commentary on what writers, well, some stupid writers thought of Superman. This sort of, justice, jury, and executioner sort of guy.
Yeah. Again,
is
just like in Superman 4.
It does also show what can happen when that's taken to its logical conclusion. And, well, spoilers, it ain't so pretty. Like, Superman himself.
What are you doing?
He's just gonna take a look with
Something is
X-ray
seriously
vision in
wrong
the
with
mirror.
my face. I must repair it.
Yeah, repair those goddamn wrinkles.
Ah. Well, we should probably take care of that.
Microsurgery.
Oh, let me guess. Lex Luthor can detonate the lead inside his head to fill his brain with kryptonite and kill him.
Pretty much. That said, let's
But now
take
he's
that out.
removing said issue.
You could have gone to a hospital.
Then again, that would have
I
been
am
But it's
quite
not
an
Superman. I
funny.
do not need hospitals.
Wait, do you think a hospital would have had the necessary stuff to cut through Superman's skin?
No, but a pair of pincers instead of, scissors.
Whatever, it worked, didn't it? But yeah, Supergirl really got the short end of the stick when it comes to fighting Doomsday, because she gets right next to him, then she gets punched in that panel that I said, and then she just falls and then she dies. That's it. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to a newspaper in a place called Gotham City. I'm sure it's a very nice place.
The smartest man on the planet. He got I don't hands where this can see.
Hey, Lois,
them,
you don't
Lex,
mind
so-
if I take your DNA and make a robot version of you? dude?
Jesus Christ.
Oh god,
this-
that comic book line was weird.
This is sexual harassment and I don't have to take it.
Yeah. Seriously, Lexi's not even trying to hide that. This is so stupid. Oh, they even go for the French.
Sucker.
Yep, smartest man on the planet, huh?
Hey. But when he's horny, he can't control. He's not thinking straight.
Yeah, yuck. Wait, who's she talking to?
Probably Jimmy.
Probably
You'll
Jimmy.
see.
Well, but Jimmy doesn't work there anymore.
Well, maybe she
Where'd you-
might have
oh
been
my
able
God.
to talk some sense into him.
They were talking earlier, and there was like, "Hey, you want to do this for me one last time?" I'm like, "Fine."
Yeah,
Boy was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, but then he saw what happened earlier.
genetic research.
Just genetic research. That's it.
Yes,
I-
not any specific kinds of genetic.
I also love the fact that the files were not encryption with say like stuff like fingerprints recognition.
How Superman came back is still kind of dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just.
So, like, I had to BRB, but what exactly was the explanation? It was like, you just can't die or something like
Basically,
Oh, wait. Hold on. Are you talking about the movie or the comic?
that? The movie.
basically the
When
explanation.
it comes to the movie, it's that, Tom Kennybud got his corpse here and there, and then eventually subjected it to a high amount of solar rays here and there to revive him, essentially. It helped also that he hadn't been dead for too long as well.
Yeah,
if he had been dead longer, he probably would have stayed dead. In the comics, it's Pedro. Why don't you tackle that one?
Well, actually, Job, it's been a long time, so I don't think I would be in a good position to do so. But he also said, Deji, before, like the Tom Kenny's robot. I mean, he said, "Oh, it appears that the rules of that the laws of human death don't apply to you on this planet either." So basically, the idea is that the light of the Earth's sun doesn't just give him superpowers; it also it also makes it so that his death doesn't work the same way as humans. It seems.
An entire army of Superman.
A faker.
Wow, he recovered faster.
Why didn't you check his pocket?
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
Also, he had a gun when he was trying to have sex with her.
That's his
What if that
fetish.
went off?
I guess he had the safety on at the time.
After all. He keeps pressing the. Yeah, imagine he says after all, he's pressing the button as he says it over and over again. After all.
Oh, snap. The irony.
Yeah, just be careful. You might hit your friends.
There was one comic panel where a machine was trying to figure out who Superman was, and it's like it's Clark Kent, and Lex Luthor's like, no, that's BS. Because if Superman really, why would Superman want to live with us? He has superpowers. He'll be a god among men.
There's also, I forgot if it's a movie or the actual Justice League cartoon where Lex steals the Swap's body with the Flash. So he goes in about him. He's like, "No, I can actually know the Flash's identity." He pulls away the mask. I don't know who this guy is.
Oh, that's Justice League Unlimited. Part of a DCAU.
Okay.
Are you coming on to me, Luthor?
Again.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're not doing that this time.
Yep, smartest man on the planet.
Seriously.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. The Lex is like, oh shit. Maybe I should have put like some sort of controls on that as well.
Yeah, an escape panel.
Well, actually, no.
Something where only works if he touches it.
Well, actually, no. This was made by Bruce Timm. So. Enjoy
the ride.
What is this? An Injustice scene transition?
You know. It's funny. At Six Flags at Six Flags Magic Mountain, there's this drop ride known as Lex Luthor's Drop of Doom. It's as terrifying as you can imagine, being dropped from an incredibly high height.
It's a shame. Okay, Jova. I know that Shirley Walker died in 2006, but so did she compose for any of the DC animated stuff after
No.
Superman?
Shelley
Wait,
Walker.
wait.
Sure.
After Superman, I think that she did stuff for Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. since
Okay,
that was
okay then.
within that timeline.
Shirley Walker was the composer of the Batman animated series and Superman animated series. Dwibs. That's why I was asking Joe if she scored anything DC related after the Superman animated series.
Have you seen the Final Destination movie?
Ha! Okay, those were some nice Easter eggs over there from the DCAU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Final Destinations 1, 2, and 3.
So this is the black suit, one that allows him to absorb radiations better.
Just like Nuclear Man does with the scratch in Superman 4.
Except this time it's being used for good.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention,
Because, the Superman clone is kind of at a point where it's going out Cujo, so might have to pull the trigger on this boy.
not to mention,
Well,
kryptonite is harmless to humans, so it's not like it's dangerous for him to use it, even in.
What? It is dangerous for Superman to use it, but he has to use it.
No. Peter
for-
was asking about regular humans. I think
Regular
there is a
humans.
specific type. I think there's a specific type of kryptonite that might be also dangerous to mankind, but
Okay.
the regular one, no.
Okay, here's the thing. Kryptonite energy, if it's focused into a laser, can sometimes hurt a human. However, it
Why
won't
don't
really
you
do
have
damage.
kryptonite weapons?
That said, kryptonite energy, if a person has it on them for that long, can unfortunately cause a special kind of cancer, which is what happens to Lex Luthor in the
Yep,
Justice League series.
because I care.
I love how because of the I'm watching this with the subtitles, and the subtitles are made for for deaf people. And whenever it shows whenever Superman clone talks, the subtitles refer to him as Dark Superman.
Yeah.
Also, that remember, oh god, the CGI. Batman always keeps that kryptonite bullet in case of emergency.
Yeah, but this is the U.S. military. I'm sure that they have weapons going against the superheroes.
Actually, I don't think the military has any kryptonite.
Oh god, the CGI isn't age at all.
Why are you even trying? You should know that it's useless.
Because it's what's right.
It's the US military, they need to blow shit up.
Oh no! Our weapons are useless!
Not just your weapons, you are useless.
Okay, Jimmy, how many photos does your camera have?
I forgot. I forgot he had a different suit. For a second, I thought we were going to have another one. Ooh, but which one's the real one, fights?
Da-da-da, da-da-da,
I do like the
da.
Superman theme for this movie.
It's easy, Dweebs, just, follow the mullet.
It is. It's not bad, but I miss Shirley Walker.
Oh, Shirley Walker's theme was wondrous.
I do appreciate that it's not a discount John Williams Superman theme or anything.
Jimmy, just because he's wearing black doesn't mean he's evil.
Just add Prime at the end. Probably will be justified by then.
Funny,
So-
because you were dead.
Ha.
So basically, what this
It is.
movie comes to is a battle of ideals. Should Superman be the Dark Protector that would do, technically the permanent solution of certain things, or is the classic ideal Superman
Lois.
someone who actually
Get out of the way.
Oh no! A bunch of sharp-looking glasses are about to fall on top of me. Should I move? Nah.
Nah.
It's like Octavius's wife in Spider-Man 2. Oh no! Should I try and dodge this glass? Nah. I'm just gonna scream.
Well, wasn't she stuck? Like she couldn't move?
Was she?
I recall
Yeah,
her.
because it was
No,
part.
I don't think she was.
From
I
what I
don't
I
recall,
forgot, to be honest.
from what I
Well, I mean,
recall,
Because
Sam
of like the
Raimi's never been good at
anti-gravity
writing.
machine or whatever that thing was.
Well,
let me
other
finish.
than-
Hold on, Dwebs.
other
Let me
than-
finish. Let me finish. She wasn't necessarily stuck, but she was in a position where she was pretty much screwed wherever she moved because glass was pretty much surrounding her entire area. So even if she did move, she'd have been dead from the glass.
Soda?
Yes.
Is that a combination of soda and beer?
so it's soda brand soda.
No, soda. He spelled it differently.
That's what I
Harry,
said.
you're starting to turn into Dejimon Jameson.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the Superman here has been kind of acting evil, so
Yay, Superman's winning! Oh, fuck.
which Superman are we supposed to cheer for?
I mean,
Yes.
the one in the black, one of them's wearing black, so he's clearly evil.
Oh god, the CGI. Does these,
Yes,
no, this was direct to video. I don't think it got an actual theatrical release.
Nah, I think it was only the Killing Joke. But
There are some other DC animated movies that have gotten some theatrical releases, but no, not this one.
Bonk.
too easy. I don't believe he would get drowned by water. Shit.
Oh, that's
Oh, ship.
Well,
shit.
shit happens.
Yeah, it does.
Oh no, the ship is about to hit the
How
fan.
how botacious. That was horrible. Martha,
Wait a minute, were you referencing that Crash
Martha,
Bandicoot
oh shit,
level?
that doesn't work here.
Why did you
Fuck.
say that name?
Oh shit, that didn't work.
I'm actually wondering, since you brought that up, Dwebs, since we're gonna have Zack Snyder's interpretation of this in Justice League, I mean, I'm actually wondering how Zack is gonna handle that dynamic between these two. If he is gonna make a Dark Superman at least, because to be fair,
No, probably not.
No, I don't think he's making a dark Superman.
I'd reckon he's still probably gonna be similar to what the original cut had, with Superman coming back normally and having to fight just the Justice League on his own.
I guess.
Of
Oh,
course. Whee! Yeah, shut up, Jimmy.
the kryptonite gun.
Also,
Just make sure you hit the right Superman.
it looks like Lois's, wound on her face from the glass is healed mysteriously, and no scar
Yeah.
and anything.
Yeah,
sure.
Dragon Ball logic. They're
Well,
fine.
Pedro, weird facial deformities have been healing on their own for time.
Well, Pedro, I hate. Well,
Symbolic.
Pedro, I hate to say it, but if Spider-Man Reign taught me anything, maybe her sharing relations with Superman has had some of his healing probabilities wear off on her.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
You know, Lois, when we're done, I'm going to teach you a thing or two about being useful.
Actually, you just reminded me of that comic, Jova.
I know it's
Mud wrestling. Yep, someone was really.
it's
feeling
more like
something like that.
petroleum, so it's not properly mud, but yeah, it gets the
Yes,
feeling.
Pedro.
Jova just reminded me of that comic where Bruce Banner and Betty have sex, and because apparently Bruce has gamma in his sperm, it makes Betty ill.
There's a
Yeah.
Spider-Man comic where he actually does kill
That's what I was
Rain,
saying.
because of it.
Spider-Man Rain.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's why I was saying. Like, it reminds me of that other
That
Hulk
said-
comic.
That said, Deds, don't worry. In the main comics, there's actually a good version of it.
Oh.
It's actually the reverse. In the main comic books, because Peter and Mary Jane shared a relationship. Oh, wait. Boop. Yeah, because Mary Jane and Peter Parker shared a relationship that involves sex, that actually made her immune to a certain virus going on in Spider Island. So, in the main comics, the opposite happened, and it was a good thing.
That's
It's a-
actually kind of stupid.
It's a good thing he was. Oh, actually, didn't die by that.
Wait, no, he's just dying slowly. Okay, Superman, you're back alive. Now you just have to watch yourself die.
But hey, at least you won't be dying like how this Superman's dying. You know, this one's dying of rage and anger. How do I know that?
Lois, for the love of God, do not read the Clone Saga then. Oh.
See, the other one never kissed you, therefore I'm the real one.
Seriously, Jimmy, not the time to make photos.
Well,
I was gonna say that.
well, Clark, don't worry. You're thankfully not in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But the Joker, isn't the DC universe civilian population kind of fickle as well?
No,
That's more
they're actually
Marvel.
much more forgiving.
Yeah, the DC.
No, because that wasn't that a plot point in Justice League Unlimited that people like he was
Okay.
still worried that people weren't trusting him.
Okay, Dad. Here's the thing. The DC universe isn't so much fickle. For the most part, they like their heroes. When they do start to fear them, it's because of a damn good reason. Whereas with the Marvel universe,
Like
it's-
you have a giant laser in space and throw it at a random city.
Yeah. See, now it makes sense when that happens. When it comes to Marvel Universe, though, it can be as much a difference as, oh, it's a Monday, we hate Spider-Man. Oh, it's a Friday, we love Spider-Man now.
I love that the movie just ends with Superman and Lois banging.
I didn't get that.
yeah.
I didn't get that moment though. Like he said, he was the champion of the spelling bee at Smallville Elementary, and that somehow.
They talked about it earlier, didn't they? In the beginning,
Yeah,
when
they
they were
did.
in
Corporation.
Fortress of Solitude.
One last
Or
piece,
something.
though.
Someone's still alive. That monkey face.
He's a little beaten up. Lufer, just give up. Tim.
I thought it was gonna do the cut to black and then he's laughing thing. Going, oh,
Alright. I don't think there are post-credit scenes, so final thoughts, and let me start considering I want to be quick about this. It was probably better when it came out, but honestly, as an adaptation, it's not really good for me. I get it, it was like a first for, Warner Bros. In experimenting and trying to play safe with an iconic story, but the things they changed it so much, and possibly for the worse. The characterization between Clark and Lois is rushed on big time. The Doomsday is just like even Doomsday. Like, they managed to make Doomsday even worse than it is in original comic. Like I said, the problem with Doomsday was the fact that he was a threat out of nowhere that showed up and killed Superman. Whoa, there you go, Worf effect. Instead of being an iconic villain like Darkseid, finally managing to strike down an opponent from Earth, Krypton, but on Earth. But here it's even worse. There's no pathos, no build-up, no real foreshadowing. The lack of supporting characters doesn't help either. It's just a contained Superman story, and I'm sorry, it works for the worst. The second half improved better, with the doppelganger Dark Superman, the Lex Luthor going absolutely insane, and Lois and Jimmy try to, cover the story and potentially revitalize the name of soups. But I don't know. This is still all over the place for me. It's a product of its time, and unfortunately for the worst, because I do believe this one has aged for the worst, which is probably the reason why Warner Bros. Did it again. 11 years later for the new DC animated movie post Flashpoint in the two-parter one. I haven't seen that one either, but I'm more optimistic about that one. Next.
Can I go next?
Go on.
Okay, as a non comic book fan, I mean, it was I mean, the second half was a lot better than the first, but I mean, seriously, Doomsday's there for like not even half an hour and he's offed, which wouldn't. I mean, it still would have been rather odd for a movie that half the title's named after him, but I mean, all the rest of that stuff after that, I mean, while it was better, was still very weird. Like in some cases, I get it because that's the point. Because this Superman is he's a clone. But I kind of wish the whole movie were building up to that, not have like some random stuff at the first half and then put it in. Or if you're gonna do that, just do what Pedro suggested. Why not just make it 2 movies? One movie would be dedicated to the Doomsday stuff, and then the second one would be about evil clone. I mean, it's better than how Superman 3 handled evil Superman, i.e. the worst he ever gets is drinking. Ooh, how evil he drinks at a bar. But still, it's only a minor improvement. I mean, it's not hard to do better than Superman 3. So, overall it's fine, but as the start to a new animated universe, I wouldn't say it's the worst.
That's the thing.
It's not the worst start to a new universe, but it's not great either.
That's the thing. This is not the start of a universe. Like I've said, this is part of the DC Universe animated original movies, not the DC animated universe itself. What this is was the start of a brand known as the DC Universe animated original movies. So, again, this thing is pretty much contained to its own universe, essentially.
Which, again, it baffles me the most, considering they cut so much from it. But, the first movie of a new brand they're doing, it'd be a bit weird if they crippled the Justice League at the start. At the very least, have Batman. He's recognizable as a brand character.
Batman kind of was going for a case of oversaturation at the time, and that's the thing. Superman is recognized as technically the big mascot of the DC universe, even though Batman is the guy who gets a lot of stuff here and there. Again, I see the mentality behind this one. I mean, as somebody who saw it when it first came out, it definitely worked for the time. Maybe they agreed with you, Tio, and that's why they eventually redid the project as a multi-parter.
Anyway, you're done, Dibs?
Yeah, that's it. It's fine, but it's got a lot of issues.
All right.
I saw this when I was a kid. I liked it. It was fine for what it is. Like we've all said throughout the entire commentary, some more than others. Mm-hmm. It really should have not been called Superman Doomsday, because Doomsday is only there for a third of the movie. And it's like, hi, I'm Doomsday. Okay, bye. Checks in the mail. The remaining part of it, like Superman's death, how's everybody's dealing with it, and the cyborg clone thing, whatever he is, clone. And that was good. It was like, okay, I'd like to see more of it. Well, for what it is, it's the first one, or technically the second one, because which came out first, this or Justice League in Frontier?
Oh,
This
this
one,
came out first.
Justice
League
League
Yeah,
New
so
Frontier
it
was
the
the
next
second
year.
one.
Yeah, so this was technically the first one. So
Yeah, you can tell that they would eventually get the formula better in, adapting comic book lines.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
it.
yeah, it's for what it is, it's okay.
All right, Pedro.
I'm actually skimming a bit more for the comic. The supermarket that gets destroyed by Doomsday, it's called Lax Pag. So
Those are
yeah,
some interesting final thoughts.
you see, you see. Well, that's the vintage of it. I still have my 1995 issue here. This thing is
Nice.
okay. It's 2020, so this thing is 25 years old now.
Wow. An artifact.
So yeah. But yeah, you see, Teo, the reason this adaptation is because the Lax Pag subplot was cut out of it, and that was the subplot of the whole comic together.
It
The whole
was the
story.
glue. That
Exactly.
glue
I mean,
together.
where is the subplot about Doomsday destroying the great metropolis supermarket Lax Pag? I mean, it's just it just goes to show how much these adaptations ruin the source material.
Hey, this is ridiculous.
But yeah, on a more serious note, speaking as someone who didn't even care much for the comic, because my problem with the original comic, that's a Superman comic anyway, because technically this is supposed to be the entire arc, not just the comic of the death itself. But speaking as someone who never really cared for that arc to begin with, I just felt like the death part was just basically done for shock value. And like Teo said, Doomsday was literally pulled out of the writers' asses to kill him instead of being like a big momentous death by Darkseid or something. Nah, instead let's just get a random generic new character on Steel.
Which doesn't even have a personality. If Doomsday at the least was more conniving, more interesting as a villain, but no, it's a generic monster. Doesn't talk, doesn't think.
But don't you see, Teo? According to Dubilex, his heart is full of hatred, and his mind thinks of nothing but destruction.
I love how the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited series actually made Doomsday more conniving and whatnot, almost like they knew.
Wait, what? He was?
Well,
He was
yeah.
only there for like what? 15 minutes? The last 5 minutes?
Basically, that's in Justice League. He is here to actually conquer the world and whatnot, see what it has to it. He still
And then
has
he
that
gets
whole thing where he's all
jobbed
about,
by the Justice Lord Superman.
lobotomized Fallout. Then he comes back in Justice League Unlimited for a real fight against the actual Superman. And then gets sent to the Phantom Zone because he is obviously too dangerous to be left out there.
But yeah, even with me not being exactly a fan of this arc, I will still say that this movie doesn't do a good job representing the source material at all, because the way they go about adapting this is all wrong. This needed to be a multi-parter, and I get that this was the first one, so at the time they didn't have like a proper knowledge of how they shoot these things. But I don't know. I think by this point Bruce Timm should have known better. But regardless,
I guess they kind of agreed with you because they later did make a multi-parter take on the story.
I guess I just wish they would have avoided making the apology instead of making it, but whatever.
Well, Pedro, I don't think it was made as an apology. It was just literally,
Sure.
Hey, anniversary time, let's have another take.
I guess sure. I was mostly joking. So
yeah, because we have to remember this movie did get positive reception when it first came out. I mean, heck, that's the main reason why eventually this whole thing blossomed into a franchise.
I guess sure. But I can only judge it by today's standards since I didn't even grow up with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
By today's standards, yeah, it doesn't really hold up. By today's standards, like we have had better adaptations of these things, and yeah, this one really doesn't hold up. It just rushes through the entire storyline in less than 90 minutes, and it doesn't really capture anything. Because if you go back to the original comic, The Death of Superman is a page. Let me see how many pages it is.
Like the whole thing or the Doomsday bit?
The Death one. I don't have the whole collection, Joe, but I only have the Death one.
Well, that's why I asked. Like the Doomsday bit, i.e.,
the Doomsday
his
bit.
actual death.
The Doomsday bit. Yeah, it says it's over 100 pages. Basically, the basic point is the original comic took its time to really. Okay, despite Doomsday not getting any characterization whatsoever, even by the comic's own admission, they did bother building him up as a force to be reckoned with by having him literally mow down the entire Justice League one by one. And it really. And not to mention the actual fight itself between Superman and Doomsday did take a while to go, and we literally saw Superman get progressively weaker and more damaged. So it was properly built up. For as much as shock value type story as it was, the writers did try their best to convey as much emotion as they could possibly from this concept, and it showed genuine effort. This, on the other hand, because of the rushed nature of the story, they don't capture that build-up at all. They have to basically rush for the entire thing and just do the bullet... This is basically the bullet point version of the arc. One thing led to another, blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't really work. If you remove all the dramatic build-up, the payoffs don't work. It's that simple. The Death of Superman can only work if there's a build-up to it, if there's a dramatic build-up to it. It just doesn't work. Also, where also the fact that the Justice League wasn't even involved means that I don't, it creates this thing where again there's no other thing. Doomsday shows up, and immediately they start fighting. It's immediate. It's like a newcomer doesn't even who hasn't read the comic doesn't even have time to absorb what's going on because everything is just goes by like a flash. This project needed to slow down and just do something different, not do the entire thing in one movie. No adaptation of the unintentionally hilarious punch to the face that Supergirl took.
I think the problem is that we might have to acknowledge the whole Supergirl hooking up with Lex Luthor thing if we did that.
It's also kind of the fact that it wasn't really the original Supergirl, and that would, be a nightmare to explain. Which, for example, the character that showed up instead in the Superman Batman Apocalypse, was sort of winking towards that.
Actually, you know what I think? You know what I'm thinking? If I was the one doing this adaptation, I would have had Superman kill Dark Superman in the same way that Doomsday kills Supergirl. There would be some kind of weakening via kryptonite and shit, and then Superman punches his face, and the face explodes Supergirl style. That would have been an interesting callback, I would argue.
You really like that comic book.
Well, Jova, look at it. I posted it on the chat. Look at it. It's clearly meant to be, but it just comes across as unintentionally hilarious because of the way it's drawn.
I love the sound effect, blash.
Blash. What kind of?
Who knows? Maybe eventually we'll do a let's read of that comic book one.
All right. The basic point is they tried to adapt an iconic storyline, and by removing all the dramatic build-up and like Theo said, they're cutting a lot of stuff out of it. They basically completely lose what made people like it to begin with. They don't for as much as I might not be exactly a fan of the Death of Superman arc, but I will say that this adaptation is not doing it doing it a disservice. Basically, this it's not really capturing what the original source material was trying to accomplish. Not really. No, it misses what made that source material iconic. It completely misses the point, really. So yeah, not really that keen on it. Maybe the new one that they made recently is better, considering from what I've heard, it's just the Doomsday part, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
should
okay.
be.
Okay, so in that case, if it's a whole movie dedicated to the Doomsday part, then they actually have more time to properly build up to things. So maybe that one will be better. I'm hoping. It probably will. It's already a better idea to do that than this, at least to me. So yeah, definitely looking forward to at the very least checking that one out, I guess. Probably should be better. That's it. Jova, close us out.
Okay.
Okay. I kind of grew up with this movie, so maybe I'm a bit biased, but I will say this. I acknowledge that this movie has not aged the best. That said, I do feel like for something that was basically for any non-comic book reader's way to experience the death of Superman, I feel that for what they had, and I'm assuming whatever limited budget they had to work with, I feel that they did a fine enough job. Again, it's obvious that they can now do better. From what I've heard, the multi-part version of this Death of Superman thing is pretty good. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so positives here. The animation is good, though Superman's face is weird throughout this movie. I do like a lot of the Easter eggs and throwbacks to past incarnations of Superman here and there, too.
Like the robot from the Fleischer cartoon.
And also some of Superman's suits from the DC animated universe. You know, of that too. The music and its theme is also good as well here, too, and there. As for the writing, I like the character dialogue. The story, I do realize, does feel a bit rushed. On the one hand, they cut out a lot of the padding that the Death of Superman arc did have. On the other hand, they did cut out a few more interesting things that I do hope we'll actually get to see replicated in, the multi-part version of this story event, and only because they have more time here and there. I can definitely tell what they were setting out to do with this one. This movie feels like a glorified pitch movie or something. It was basically to prove to Warner Brothers, hey, we can adapt these comic book lines into actual movies. And, while we may debate about how good it is nowadays, it was definitely enough of a success both critically and commercially to convince them to let them run wild with this more. And honestly, it definitely produced a lot of good from it. Back to the movie itself, though. The characters feel fine enough, honestly. I'll admit, I didn't really have much of a problem with the writing and dialogue here and there. Though Luthor is quite consumed by the ego in this one. God damn. The cast is good as well. I will admit, it does feel a bit rushed, though. More rushed than I remembered it being. And I do think that they could have maybe have worked on Lois and Clark's relationship a bit better in the movie, per se. Other than that, though, I think this movie still is fine enough for the day here and there. At the very least, as an interesting reminder of how things used to be when they started off here and there. And I appreciate it for that. Again, I appreciate this movie for giving us the brand name of the DC Universe animated original movies. We've gotten a lot of good out of them, and still to this day are. With a few bumps in the road, yes, but still, for the most part, a very good outlook and onlook here and there. So, how was Superman Doomsday? The first ever DC Universe animated original movie. Boy, that's a mouthful. Has it aged the best? Maybe not, but we can't deny the good it did do in the long run for the company.
No, hey, look at it this way. At least it's going the opposite effect of the TMNT movies, where the first one was the best and everything else wasn't up to snuff.
We do need an answer to this question, though. Why exactly do the wrinkles on the right side of Clark's face keep disappearing in and out, in and out, in and out?
Maybe he was healing himself a bit, but it was faulty here. So when he shows up in the sunlight, they show up. But when he's out of the sunlight, they don't show up.
Of course.
Does Superman have any powers that are determined by the weather?
Probably in the Silver Age. Anyway, see you for whatever we do next with the DC animated stuff.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.